The most important question I ever got was, what is your legacy? Not a material legacy, but if life stops here, how do you want to be remembered? What is that energy? How do people see you? This podcast series is a result of that question, what is my legacy? A phoenix is burning itself on a funeral pyre and rising from the ashes with renewed youth to live through another cycle. This fertile ash is filled with phoenix frequencies of compassion, love, forgiveness, intuition, wisdom, generosity, resilience, creativity, and evolution and involution. I've been in the ashes. I give voice to my phoenix. I share how I pioneer with ease. That's a lifestyle, a choice. I'm Nienke van Bezooien, and I welcome you to listen and invite you to rise. Welcome to the Phoenix Frequencies. In many previous podcasts, I spoke about how you can take another perspective on life events, how you can develop the skill to look at your patterns that show up in your life, and more important, how you respond to this feeling of, why is this happening again to me? Your response ability. You might think or feel like me before I phoenixed. Mixing up resilience to bounce back if life hits you with phoenixing out of the ashes. The key for me is to take the helicopter view if I feel something in life is occurring again in an unpleasant or even pleasant way. Flying at a distance with curiosity instead of pity gives me always a bigger picture of what my personal or unconscious contribution has been in this certain situation. In having the phoenix courage to take ownership, you can see the patterns behind and underneath the behaviors that are hitting you again. For example, I've been pushed out, alienated, and scorned so often in my youth that I developed a pattern of longing to feel connected. With being bullied when expressing my emotions, I developed the habit to look after emotions, first and foremost myself, not through sharing how I truly feel. That's safer. By being verbally overruled by the intellectual importance and accuracy, I developed a pattern to be clear, to over-explain, and even under pressure, losing the capacity to be precise. More words, keeping talking, got me out of a further damage in a rape. I picked up that pattern decades later when I got again in a physically unsafe situation and I wasn't able to stop the verbal diarrhea. It was the same danger I felt, but was it really? No. Did my brain provide me with a tool that helped me in the past? Yes. When an old scar gets triggered, we do what worked in the past, bouncing back through past successes. That makes us feel safe. Since I phoenixed, the bouncing back lost its power, because nothing seems the same anymore. It supported me in my response ability. In the past, when I felt alienated, ignored, or even threatened, it knocked me off my feet and provided the path to pity city. Feeling hurt, lost, and even in that feeling, I had nothing safe around me anymore. It would feel like falling through space, alone, straight into the black hole of being lost for life forever. And of course, with the tendency to blame others for that feeling. Or through the feeling of feeling ashamed about the fact that something happened again in my life. It would feed the self-blame and negative self-talk that make me feel even worse. A lot of things changed since I phoenixed. Alienation, is that true or just my feeling of being hurt? I can look at that straight in the face, look into that mirror of pain, give it a healing cry, give it compassion. To the me in the age the response come from. Most likely in my case, that's not the adult me, but the younger version. Then I can check, is the situation really the same, or just an old triggered feeling and pattern? When I get a true answer, I can shift into responsibility and ownership. Responsibility from the mature me. Ownership of my feelings and responsibility is another frequency I love. It's adding in and adding on curiosity and mystery, diving into the unknown. From looking into my mirror of feeling hurt or lost, I can move on with that curiosity and mystery. What is a more helpful response, since I don't like to repeat and get another bouncing back situation on my path? I thank my thinking brain with the reasons and analytics based on the past experience and dictated outcomes. I do that sincerely. And then I go to my heart. Always a safe space, because the heart doesn't hold judgments, opinions, or biases. And my heart tells me what the brain couldn't see. My heart turns the key from falling through space, hopelessly lost and alone, to the freedom of feeling, of flying like a bird together as one with the wind. From drowning into the darkness to free floating on the stream of what's meant to be. A mystery, curiosity, joy. Past results from my thinking brain gives me the predicted limitations. But through flipping the coin of fear into alignment to what I love to do instead, I return to my true self, not what looks good, what keeps me safe, or what my brain thinks it would be helpful based on a past response, a past trigger. My core values are that guide to me, that are mine and never put into others. In my expectations, ownership of my core values. I don't feel the need anymore to blame, nor to have space for shame for myself. With compassion for my patterns I developed from my past, I can see what happens with a helicopter view, not by suppressing, but through embracing. You might think you are too old, too rigid, or too wired to let go of your developed patterns. Maybe you are too old to keep repeating what doesn't serve you. Are you ready to let go of the self-blame and start to be curious what the other option of responsibility have for you? What can help is just this overused phrase, if you do what you always did, you will get what you always got. And still, look at your patterns. What are you repeating? What are you bouncing back from? That it looks like resilience, but still it's a repetition. How you feel in life is a choice. You can pick feeling lost and victimized, or listen to your heart and connect to what a mature and learned you can respond to, being in flow. Because just remember, you always have a choice to rise.